Hello everybody, today is another video. It's a beautiful day outside. I'm wearing cargo pants and a woolly hoodie. And today I will be discussing with you the tools that I personally use for flint knapping and any indigenous style tools, arrowheads, points, and all that. So first I'm going to be covering the most important thing when it comes to flint knapping, and that is protection. So right here I have a piece of fairly thick piece of leather that I got from Michael's. It just goes on whatever leg you want, and you do all your flint knapping. You hold up your rock, put it on your lap, and you just smack it on your lap, and it protects your lap from all the shards and flakes. Up next is a piece of leather that I use for a hand pad if I'm wanting to do a more indigenous style hand pad. And so I do this, and I will take one of my flakes, I'll just set it right there, and I'll take an antler pressure flaker, and I'll just set it up on the edge, and as you guys saw in the last video. So that's what I use that for. I have another leather hand pad that I use. It's a lot stiffer and a lot thicker. Then I have this piece of leather that I cut off of that giant piece of leather that I wrap around my antler billet. And I also have two leather gloves that I picked up from a Rural King. I don't know, depending on where you are in the country, if you're where I live, Headland or Dothan or Newville or any, you do have a Rural King. But if you live anywhere else, I don't know. But a lot of the times I don't wear gloves. You should probably, if you're starting out flint knapping and you're using a lot sharper rock, like for example obsidians or glass or anything like that, you should definitely be wearing that, safety goggles, gloves. It's a good idea to bring band-aids as well. So now that we are done with protection, we are going to move on to percussion. Now, I have a couple different kinds of percussion. So, I have these two large copper billets that I use. These are lead-filled. I use this one primarily for spalling off really big chunks, because this is a lot bigger compared to this one. This one I really just use to knock off large thinning flakes. This one is kind of really a one and all. I use this a lot for thinning, and I use this a lot for small little work. Then I have two of my smallest billets. I use this one a lot for small flakes, and then I use this one sometimes, maybe. So that's all my copper tools, or lead-filled tools. Now on to hammerstone and antler. So I have two different kinds of hammerstones. I have this riverstone. I've been using it for a while and it's chipped. I haven't been using it for a while. I've been using it recently. And I also have this brown cobble that I found. So I use both of these. I use this one more often, and more than not, you'll see me hold something right here in my leg. Now, another thing, the last part of abo knapping or abo percussion is our antler billet, or soft billet. Basically, it's just a piece of deer antler. Specifically, the best antlers that work is something like moose or caribou or axis deer. I bought this off of Flintknapping LLC, I believe. It's very good. The only problem is it's very weathered and sandpapery, but it still does the job just perfectly. Now, for my abrasion stones, I have 3 abrasion stones. Right here in this little pouch that I have I have a small abrader from a grinding wheel. Then I have a much larger braiding stone from the same one. And then have this piece of sandstone that I use for abo napping. But majority of the times I just use this one because it's the best. It's easy to work with, it's, whatever. Now, for pressure flaking, I have a couple different things for pressure flaking. So I have this copper-tipped Delrin hand rod that I use for pressure flaking, and I also have a rubber hand pad. I would not suggest getting leather for a hand pad. I'd suggest getting rubber for the hand pad, just because it's, whatever. I always suggest get copper tools whenever you start out. It's a lot easier to work with, other than something like antler billet. But basically, you can buy copper nails, or you can just use regular nails if you want, but copper works best because it really grabs on. Since it's softer than the material that you're working on, it really grabs on to the rock. But basically, you can just buy a big pack of copper nails like this right here off of a place like Go Napping or Flintknapping LLC. You could also get it for some places. Also, another use for copper nails is killing off trees. And for really fine, minute, just really small, tiny pressure flaking work, you are going to use, this might sound a bit crazy to some people, but you're going to use horseshoe nails. Right? I'm trying to pick myself up a horseshoe nail pressure flaker at the time, but I'll get one eventually. I also have 2 little Sharpie markers just for marking out ridges and all that, and you will probably, whenever I upload my beginners video, you will probably see me outline some ridges and all that with these Sharpies. Now, I also have 2 antler pressure flakers. I have this one that I found myself and used and did everything with myself, and then this one that I bought. So, cool thing that you can do with some antler pressure flakers or antler tines is sometimes, depending on how you set it up, you can either use one side as percussion and other, but mine doesn't really work that way. But what you can do is, this is really cool, is if you don't feel like just bending up and picking down and picking up your abrasion stone, you can actually just crush it with the end. Just crush it with the end of the antler. Of course, it works a lot better if you're doing it like this, but basically you're just wanting to do a rolling motion. And so, I also have, I don't have it with me, but I also have a indirect percussion stick that I made myself. It's steel tipped on both sides. I have indirect percussion stick and indirect little point. Basically, I put zip ties after I got done carving down this end a lot. I wrapped it around with zip ties, and I drove in my nail, and I wrapped it around with some real sinew or water buffalo leg sinew, and then I wrapped it around with some fake sinew. And so now I have this end. It's pretty worn down. And then with this one, I just carved it down a lot until the point where it actually screwed on. I wouldn't suggest using steel at all. This is just what I had on hand. But basically, the way that it works is you take your indirect percussion stick, whatever side you want to use. I'm going to use this side, for example. You're going to take it like this. You're going to put it under your leg, and preferably you have something to sit your leg on. I don't at the moment, but it basically sits right there. And let's say, pick up this piece of rock. Basically, you hold it right above where you want to strike. Set it right on that tip. And it fell. put it right on that tip, and it drives off a flake. And indirect percussion is really good for driving off really beautiful flakes, but it's not 100% necessary, so I wouldn't suggest getting it if you're just starting off. Now, what you can do with it is, instead of buying this, you can buy an indirect percussion stick and do it like this. And you can use your arm really to get lots of leverage. But I really want to just do an overview of all the tools that I use. I also use this bucket, this 5-gallon bucket with this Cobalt tool holder. You can just sit on it and carry all your stuff in it. Mine literally just broke before I started the video. What luck. But yeah, I'm going to do a quick demonstration of both kind of tools, abo napping and modern day napping. So get my piece of leather on. Get my piece of stone. This is Texas Prime Thin Flint or shirt. First I'm gonna do copper. So I'm gonna be looking around on my platform. Knocked off a flake. Right, that was the copper stuff. Now we're going to move on to hammerstone and antler. That's a giant freeze crack that's going to snap the rock right in half. It's a perfect little area right there. Ahead. And so, yeah, so that's basically your copper tools, your antler tools. For beginners, I highly suggest that you use copper tools. I suggest copper or obsidian I started off napping with cherts, and it was a lot harder, but I learned a lot more. Obsidian is very brittle and it's very sharp, and when I first used obsidian, I got cut up a lot. I still do. But for beginners, I would start off using something like a very glassy chert. I wouldn't go for anything too high quality. But I definitely would suggest starting off with copper tools. If anybody has any sorts of questions about what do I need to buy, or where can I buy stuff from, or where can I find rock, or where can I get rock, or how much is this kind of rock, or how do I do stuff, I will be uploading a beginner's video, and so drop your comments and your questions in the comment section, and in the next video, in the beginner's video, I will be answering some of those questions and comments. If anybody wants to see any flint napping or wants to see anything specific, let me know. I have a preform that I'm going to be napping in a video. I may do it for the beginning video. But yeah, everybody have a great day. I hope you all have had a great time watching my video. I hope you all have learned something, and goodbye for now.